everyone, thanks for joining me. I decided to try a live stream concept to see how well it would work. The cool thing about live streaming is GoPro cameras are not needed, and it's just, I hate charging the battery, I hate editing videos, so what more fun could I have than to share a live IFR flight with people and be able to casually chat with them whenever I get time to glance at a chat window. So I think this will be pretty fun. I have some pretty cool views set up, so I hope you enjoy the ride, and feel free to use the chat. I'll glance over the chat once in a while when I get a spare moment, but I'm enjoying this idea, this concept. I've put a lot of preparation into it, and I think most of the work goes into setting everything up. And once it's set up, it's just zero effort, and I don't have to edit any video, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Mike. I'm a certified flight instructor with a gold seal. I've been flight instructing now for over 5 years. I've been piloting for about 18 years, and I have a Piper Malibu. And today we're flying the Malibu to St. Cloud, Minnesota. We have about 13 minutes left until we land. We are given RNAV runway 31 to expect that and to fly to the initial approach fix. So that's currently what we're doing. See if I can give you a perspective of that from my instrument here. So we're intercepting 4,000. We're in the Minneapolis class Bravo right now, but we're about to exit it. So feel free to ask any questions you might have in live chat. I'll look over and take a look, but just enjoy the ride, and you can hear ATC and everything. So let me know if any volume sounds weird or any camera isn't clear enough, and I'll let you know, or I'll respond to your feedback.
406 Tango Tango, fly present heading to maintain 5,000.
For you iPad fans, I decided to add a view of the iPad. See if I can bring that up here. There's a bunch of iPad views I added, but we have a live ADS-B exchange view of the airplane as well. I personally like looking at the Garmin instruments, so that's kind of where I enjoy. It's like my happy place. But anyways, it's a beautiful day. We're above an overcast layer. Let's get the weather at the destination. Tune destination weather. 1937.
Landing and departing runway 13. Hazardous weather 450 nautical miles. Available on flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Alpha. St. Cloud information. Alpha 1800 Zulu. Wind 080 at 8 knots. Visibility 10 statute miles. Sky condition ceiling broken at 1,200. Overcast at 2,300. Temperature 2.21. Altimeter 2,997. Density altitude 2,200. ILS approach in use. Landing and departing runway 13. Hazardous weather.
Heard some other pilot just got cleared into St. Cloud. Put my seatbelt on because we got only 12 minutes left, and it's about time to land here pretty soon.
Information Alpha 1.
That's information Alpha.
406 Tango Tango, just maintain.
Landing runway 13, which is kind of interesting. Hey, good to see you, Arno. Okay.
990 Delta, contact Minneapolis Center 121.05, good day.
2105, good day, 99 Delta. We're direct Zuxel, and we're level at 4,000, and we have Alpha.
Roger, climb maintain, follow 340, so my top on the climb.
340, thanks for the heads up, because 4284.
Hello, Minneapolis Malibu, 9099 Delta, 4,000, direct Zuxel, we have Alpha.
Delta, Roger. Air Cloud Center 2997, thanks for Alpha, and say your approach request.
We're direct Zuxel right now for the RNAV 31.
Roger, and clear up the tower and get back to you. I'll see if they can approve that.
Okay, thanks. We're landing opposite direction, but it's not a big deal. They're not a very busy airport, so there's no reason to fly like 15 miles past the airport and come back. It's just kind of a waste of time The winds are only like 8 knots, kind of a crosswind as well, so not a big deal. I don't mind landing with like a 1 knot tailwind component. What a time to be alive, Jeremy. That is right. What a time to be alive. Let me see if I can get a better view of the outside a little bit. Let's look at it's just gorgeous out there. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I think Live ATC has a St. Cloud feed, but this is probably going to be clear and actually probably a little bit more live too. It's absolutely beautiful outside. So it's 1200 broken, but it looks like conditions might be changing pretty rapidly, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was a more pessimistic report. The Garmin reminder to switch fuel tanks. Still have like 87 gallons left. I tend to not use an iPad when I have all the latest Garmin stuff because usually like all that you need should be right in front of you. You shouldn't have to look down. Like looking down is like a negative impact thing for a flight experience. So I connected mine anyways and made it so I can share my iPad screen a little bit. I don't know how beneficial that will be. Let's see if I can pull up the more dedicated iPad view. Yeah, so the newest feature is the procedure reviewer thing.
90999 Delta, maintain above 3,500 till Zuff Gulf, clear to the straight in RNAV runway 31 approach, St. Cloud Airport.
At or above 3,500, cleared the RNAV 31 approach, St. Cloud Airport, 99 Delta. So I'll go down to 3,500 here. I guess my point was I'm not super as cool as this is, it shows you all the preview and the minimums and everything. Actually, I needed to select my minimums. So if we were using the RNAV 3.1, I need to tell it LPV with the normal altimeter. And then the minimums are all over the place. But the last place I want to be looking is like down in my lap for an approach, basically. Alright, I'm arming the approach. We're all set to go. The landing checklist. The way I do the landing checklist is I look at literally every gauge and every switch and make sure it's in the right spot and think about it when I do it. Make sure prop, seatbelt lights, everything is right where I want it to be, lean to peak, etc. Again, I prefer like this outside view where you can see the Garmin instruments. I prefer that a little bit more. Alright, we're going to tune the destination tower using the Garmin Intelligence by pressing a kind of a different push-to-talk button. Tune destination tower. That loads the 1825 into the standby frequency. So all I have to do is just say things that, you know, like show a map, for example, and it will change what the GPS is showing. Pretty convenient. It's an absolutely gorgeous day outside. I'm going to turn the camera sideways so you guys can take a look. Just beautiful. But for the approach and maybe what I should call a sterile cockpit, I'm going to keep this pointing kind of straight forward so you get the runway view, the beautiful choppy propeller runway view when it comes into focus.
Skywest 3809, contact Minneapolis approach 126.35 and take on with the 250 knots.
2635 with the speed, Scout 3809.
Vertical track.
The final approach is, the final approach fix is Pogoi at 2700.
447, Roger. Cross Lucy, I maintain 11,000. Estimate Minneapolis, 29907.
Lucy at 11,000, Delta 447.
And we got to program the minimums in 1220.
Minneapolis, Center, that's 837. Sending out of 36.5 for 240.
Exactly, 837, Roger. I'll blow it for you shortly.
And Pogoi, the minimum glide slope intercept is 2700, and 6 miles out is...
9099 Delta, radar service limited, contact St. Cloud Tower, 118.25.
Over to tower 1825, 99 Delta, good day.
Yep.
So the missed approach is straight ahead 3000. Alright. Good afternoon, St. Cloud Tower, Malibu 9099 Delta, on the RNAV 31.
Malibu 9099 Delta, St. Cloud Tower, good afternoon, runway 31, the wind is 090 at 6, clear for the option.
Runway 31, we'll just make this a full stop landing, we're cleared for the option, 99 Delta.
Roger.
I should have given my full call sign, shame on me. For all runway clearances, you should give your full call sign. And I slipped up there, I was just tripped up by the cleared for the option crap. Like, really? Like, what made you think a Piper Malibu with an IFR flight plan to an airport was going to be doing a touch and go? Like, what part of that? Maybe it's the opposite direction that kind of threw him off, I guess. We got the glide path armed on the autopilot. Let's see, we got some chat. I'm going to glance real quick. Hey, Daniel, good to see you tuning in. Kind of a fun age we live in to be able to live stream, but what I really like is just like all the effort goes into during the flight with like really minimal distractions. I think a GoPro is actually borderline more distracting because of the battery management and Bluetooth with your phone type of stuff you might need to do with the wing, the one that's out on the wing or whatever. To me, just connecting all of this together and not needing any batteries, no SD cards, no video editing, to me that's ideal. All right, we crossed Zuxel. We're expecting you can see the glide path coming in. We have the autopilot armed. We have the minimums programmed in. You can basically see this is a pretty thin cloud layer we're about to enter, maybe a few hundred feet thick. So I don't know if the 1200 broken is going to... I guess 1200 broken means MSL around 2100? Or I guess 2000? Wait, I'm not doing math. 2200. Alright, glide path is intercepted. I'm flying this a little bit fast on purpose because I don't like to waste time when it's going to be a really easy approach, but I'll reduce now. Alright, put the gear down. Here we have 3 green down and locked. I like to say that 3 times. Because when the day comes where I forget to say it once, that should never come if I'm in the habit of saying it 3 times. But I got to say it and look at it. 3 green down and locked, 3 green down and locked. I've said it 3 times and I'm happy. Alright, the rudder is centered. Just doing a quick flow check. Every switch is in the right position. 2 notches of flaps now. We're in the soup at 3,000. It's a perfectly centered glide path. Thank you, Garmin GFC 600, for doing a great job flying the airplane. Hand flying is really fun. I do it like, once every other time, 50% maybe, or maybe towards the end. Especially if it like dips a little bit below the glide path and doesn't do a good job. Forward-facing camera to infinity focus. I wish I could control these webcams a little bit better, but I don't know. We'll see how good it does. In the soup, I don't really expect it to be that good, obviously, but I'll turn it to the side just a little bit here. All right, 2,500. Minimums are 1220. 3 green down and locked. Hey, say it 4 times. Why not? Now the Garmin system, if you get down to 90 knots, it'll actually say airspeed or this one actually is closer to 87. You like to fly approaches close to 90 knots, especially if you know it's going to be low. So that's the annoying thing, is I wish it didn't say that, because it's not gonna stop flying the airplane because you're at the bottom of its green arc, so to speak. It's just kind of an annoying thing. So if you hear airspeed, it's like, oh my gosh, Garmin, why did you program that to say it at 87 knots? All right, we're at 2100. Actually, now we're like about 900 AGL, and there's the runway, beautifully right in front of us. Let me straighten this camera up so it doesn't look so crooked. All right. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before going to full flaps. 3 green down and locked. We set it 5 times. Rudder centered, or trim is centered, I mean. All right, now I want to hand fly. This is too much fun to not hand fly, at least a little bit. All right, now I'm going to gently increase the RPM. It gives us a little bit more drag. And we'll go to full flaps. Verify clear to land runway 31, Malibu 9099 Delta.
Malibu 999 Delta, affirmative, you cleared to land runway 31.
Thank you, clear to land 3199 Delta. Never hurts to check, and the cleared for the option thing threw me off, so that's kind of like a one strike in the pilot confusion category, so might as well verify an extra time. All right, we do still have 3 green. 80 to 85 is good. The short field number for this is 77, but 80 to 85 on final is totally fine. Plus we'll have a long taxi if we're not just a little bit faster over the threshold. It's a super long runway. All right, everything looks good. Autopilot is disconnected.
Minimums.
All right, minimums. We're continuing, obviously. Give myself an A- for that. It could have been more on center line, and it could have been a little bit more greasy.
Malibu 999 Delta, left turn taxiway Delta, same intentions, you heading over to the ramp or back to the runway?
Left to Delta, we're going to St. Cloud Aviation.
Roger, then Alpha, Charlie, Echo to the ramp.
Delta, Alpha, Charlie, Echo to the ramp, 9099 Delta, thanks. Delta, Alpha, Charlie, Echo. It's a mouthful. Well, thanks for coming along for the ride. I appreciate your company. I think this is a kind of a fun exercise. I wanted to just see how well it would work. I was debating whether or not to start it at the very beginning, but to kick things off, my Bluetooth on my Bose headset was like not working at all, and it was very flaky and frustrating. So, and I actually had to swap out one of my cameras that was kind of like blinking kind of weirdly for the Garmin instruments. I had to find a special webcam so that it wouldn't have like massive like blinking for a normal webcam because of the scan rate and how that works. But it's good to have you guys come along for the test flight, the test drive. Hope you enjoyed the live aspect of this. Hope I never have to declare an emergency someday. Then that would be really exciting. But glad to have you come along. Thanks for bearing with me on this little kind of a test run, initial run. And pretty soon I'll sign off, but let's just keep taxiing for now here. Definitely don't want to keep my eyes off of directly in front of me here for any of this stuff. Okay, now we're stopped. Now I can say goodbye. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Adios. You know what? I lied. I want to reply to some of the chat. I just see the chat kind of blew up all of a sudden. What do we got here? Let's see. Paper Pilot says, so cool. We can see live flights Yeah, totally. I agree. Malibu's your dream plane. Where to mount the Starlink? Okay, the front dash works really well for that kind of stuff. So front dash, lots of space. And now there's like a new app update where it basically like gives you a clear view of, or it shows you how well the Starlink can see the satellites. It works really well. Let's see. Quality and frame rate look good. Pretty impressive. Thanks for doing this. Thanks, Daniel, for that feedback. Try putting a ND filter on the cameras. Thanks. I will give that a shot. Although the Garmin stuff can be pretty frustrating sometimes. All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your feedback, and we'll see you next time. Adios.